Well, good night and welcome to the People's Business. Tonight we're chatting with the team from the Barbados Transport Board. We begin with the Deputy General Manager, Mr. Malcolm Bevell. Malcolm, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Peter.
Good.
I'm delighted to represent the Transport Board tonight.
Right. And perhaps you can begin by telling us about your big plans for next year. I understand the Barbados Transport Board is now 55 years old.
That's
older
correct.
than me, and I think it might be a little older than you too.
Yeah, it was about 5 years.
What do you have in plan, in store?
Well, it's kind of a very opportune time where we celebrate 55 years of our existence. And the Transport Board was established by an Act of Parliament in 1955, 24th of August to be precise. And this is not, we're not in our sixth decade of existence. During that period, we've seen significant changes in the transportation landscape. For the 55th anniversary, we have a church service on the 22nd of August. We're asking the public to participate.
This is this year?
Next month. And then we have a retirees picnic on the 29th of August. And then we have a staff awards later in the new year to take effect for all of the various activities.
What are the activities that the public is invited to, and then what are the activities that are private for Transport Board?
I'll let you pick up from here.
Yeah, sure.
Well, the church service right now is the only service or event that will be open to the public. What we want to do is come together as an organization. Our company is only as strong as its people, and what the organization is looking to do is to bring some cohesiveness and unity within, to look back at where we've gone. That's why we're introducing our retirees, past persons, by invitation. They call in and we'll have them come in, meet with the persons that work there now, share their ideas, speak about what they see happening, what they would like to see going forward, because they would have laid the foundation. So retirees picnic is always a big hit at Transport Board. And then we're going to have like a nature walk so persons can get out and be healthy, because in Transport Board our largest category of work are bus drivers, and it is a very sedentary job. So we usually do a nature walk early in the morning, and that brings people together. We see who's fit and who isn't fit. We just started, we have a Transport Board Sports Club. We have a couple of gym activities and line dancing and so on. So this continues with the healthy lifestyle that we want to go down with. And then the staff awards. We haven't had one for a long time, and persons work very hard behind the scenes to provide the service that are there. We know that there may be some challenges, but we're doing the best that we can, and we still have to appreciate those that go above and beyond the call of duty. So we'll have that in January. But really, the church service is the one that persons can come and celebrate with us, say a prayer so that we go forward and do what we have to do to meet the needs of the public. Okay.
Well, Malcolm, you are the more senior person on the team, and I imagine that you would remember the way the Transport Board was. 55 years is a long time. Well, certainly for the part of it I was alive, I recall buses being very different. The configurations have changed. They're now closed as opposed to being open. Buses were draped with tarpaulin. That is a thing of the past now, other than on the picnics, the scenic picnics. There were two persons operating the bus, now there are one. What are some of the changes in terms of the way that the Transport Board has operated in the past and that you're seeing now?
Well, prior to 1991, we had a conductor on the bus. With the strategic plan for the early 1991, we have one-man operations. And to me, that was a very significant change. And then we move on to other aspects of the operations and the technologies. We have the ETM system on board the bus. And along the technology.
ETM system?
Yeah, electronic ticketing system.
ETM system,
yeah, ETM.
Right, okay.
We're trying to make that the focal point in terms of our operations. In addition to that, we are trying to focus on the organization in terms of customer focus and also the service orientation.
Right.
And this is critical.
Go ahead.
When you look at the core values, which is safety, which is one, when you look at the commitment, which is two, but I want to speak more on safety. In terms of our mission statement, we emphasize safety. And this is very, very important for elderly persons, for children, and for the public at large. But significant for those two categories, and also for those persons who are physically challenged. In terms of our commitment, we have a commitment to our internal customer, which is our staff. Which is our staff. We are trying to focus on their training, to make them more committed to the organization, to make them understand their role in terms of the public, And because we have to interface with the public, we are committed to the public in terms of trying to have a reliable service. And reliability is one of our core values.
You've been mentioning some interesting things. You talk about core values, you talked about the mission statement. I know the Transport Board in the days when you were glad when the bus came and you were thankful, you get on the bus, you can go to town. The concept of a mission statement and a core value, these seem rather odd in the context of a transport board system, which essentially supply the need. They might need to get to Bridgetown, especially if they have a car. This is a completely different philosophical change and orientation. What does the traveler get out of that?
Well, what we are trying to move toward is to encourage the use of public transport. In the developing economy, and where the social and economic focus is to allow persons to take the public transportation. So we're trying to move to a different level. To discourage persons from even purchasing a car. They want to feel more comfortable. So therefore the customer aspect is very, very important from our staff and the public. And to offer that delivery of service. So as a service-oriented organization, we have to focus on those values.
But this sounds very, Gina, very private sector oriented. The idea of service, because I mean normally with as I said with the transport board, we know about service, you know about basically getting the bus and you're thankful. Are you saying now that you're moving in a direction where the customer is actually entitled to good service from the Barbados Transport Board?
Of course. The customer has to be our focal point. We're a service industry. We provide a service to persons, and we are listening to the feedback from the public. They don't want the long waits. They want a speedy response to the comments, whether it's a suggestion or a challenge that they would have had on the bus. And if we have to move forward and do it correctly, we have to recognize that the customer is critical. We're not just here to provide the service to say we're doing it, but the service must cater to the needs of the public. So we're definitely focusing on them.
And if how do you ensure, you said you're listening to the customer, what are the facilities that are being put in place to allow you to listen? Do you plan to do surveys? Do you have a facility where the customer can communicate with you?
Yes, we do. We have a website, www.transportboard.com, and on that website you get a lot of information. You get some history on the Transport Board, where we started from. You can go on and see our annual reports, they're there. You can get our bus schedules and timetables, and you can do a search. It's very user-friendly, so you can either put in the area you want to go to, say Sam Lars Castle, it will give you all the routes that pass there. So you don't necessarily have to know the name of the service you're looking for. It will pop up all the buses that pass in that area and give you the timetable and the route description so you can get on.
And if I need to make a complaint?
If you need to make a complaint, even on that website, we have a comment section. You just put in your comment that is there. We also have a Facebook page, Transport Board Barbados, and you can go there, and we have discussion forums as well. We ask people, what do you think of certain things that are happening? If there's a detour and we would have put in a route going in a particular place, you can comment on it, or give us some feedback on what is happening. We have that as well. And then there you can contact us directly. We have a customer service section which was open recently, and it is manned under the Marketing and Corporate Communications Department. And what we're doing, we have these two young ladies that work in the department. It's very small. They go into the terminals and they go to the schools. We're doing an outreach program to help persons to understand what they have to do. So that's what we're looking at.
So you're communicating. All right. Well, we will continue the communication with the Barbados Transport Board. When we come back, we take some calls and your emails when we come back. Do stay with us.